Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 19 in my 20 from 1981 series. This game was created by a company called TOSE or TOSE and SNK and licensed to Centuri in the US, and it is called Vanguard, and it is a vertically, diagonally, and horizontally scrolling shooter. And you can shoot 4 different ways, and see there's 4 buttons, north, south, west, and east, in terms of firing directions, and an 8-way joystick. But I remember this in arcades. I think the first place I saw it was called Electric Palace in the Beaverton Mall, which is now called Cedar Hills Crossing. It's within like 3 miles of me or so. But that arcade's long gone. It was gone, I think, by the mid-'80s. But this has voice samples, and the voice samples might not have been present in every arcade cabinet of this. I don't think I remember the arcade samples. But this had I guess a pretty decent port for the Atari 2600. See, there are numerous different stages that you go through, and the direction which you're facing might change, or the direction of where the maze is forced scrolling will move. And this is kind of an interesting scenario here. It looks like a bunch of Native American Indian teepees. The music is kind of peppy at times, which seems, I don't know, it almost seems kind of out of place for a shooter, to me at least. But we'll go ahead and get started. There's music in this taken from Star Trek, the motion picture. And there's also Voltan's theme from Flash Gordon, the 1980 movie. But this first part of the game is super easy. You will get many opportunities to have invincibility by touching where it says energy. And you can even fly through the walls. You don't get points for destroying the walls, but you can just fly right through the enemies. You'll get a feel the more you play as to how enemies spawn. I mean, once the first group passes by you and the next group approaches. But don't waste the opportunity to collect that invincibility. The voice is kind of creepy. But it'll tell you when you're approaching the next zone. And here's where the music is kind of goofy, I think. Feels a little out of place, but you got to get a feel of how the enemies spawn. And in this particular area, you'll be able to just rock back and forth and shoot downwards at the enemies as they respawn. Here is where you really make use of the multi-directional shooting. And here's the TP area. There are definitely moments that feel like the game SCRAMBLE, where you will fly horizontally and destroy enemies that are sitting on the ground. They don't fly up at you, but it does feel similar, and we'll be approaching that before too much longer. Now notice that there is a little meter under where there's kind of a radar screen at the top of where you are on the screen. And that little bar will rise, it'll move to the right, unless you start shooting enemies. And that's what you need to do, because if you let that bar go all the way to the right, the game will force you to crash. So keep shooting enemies. You don't get to score a whole lot of points in this game, so it's good for your score as well. But the various zones, here's another rainbow zone. Whoops. gotta not let yourself crash into that. But just get a feel for where the enemies are gonna respawn. The various zones are Mountain Zone, Rainbow Zone, Styx Zone, Rainbow Zone 2, Stripe Zone, Rainbow Zone 3, Bleak Zone, and City of Mystery or Lost Zone. And the game's conclusion, well, the last area where you get to is called, oh, and here's that scramble-like area. The final area, the Lost Zone, is where you face the boss of the game, and he is called the Gond. And whether you destroy him or not, if you die, you'll just start the next, the whole thing over again. Yeah, go for that thing with the big old laser firing down, or whatever it is. Shoot the supports, because they're 800 apiece. But here's where you can get some nice points in this stage. There is a secret bonus. When you reach the City of Mystery, there will be these shrimp-like, characters. And right after you shoot them, they have a little explosion. And if you bathe in the explosion as quickly as you can get a little hidden bonus of, I think it's 1,090 points. But you can only do it a total of 3 times. If you try it again, yeah, here they are. If you try it again, then you will die. And I didn't do it on this playthrough, but I'll show you later what it looks like. But remember, you can do that 3 times with these guys. Bathe in their explosion, and you'll get 1,090 points. But we're almost to the Gond. And the Gond has a rotating shield, and if you can get a shot between the gaps in them, you'll destroy him. But first we'll shoot these things. They all have names. I don't remember what the hell they are. But the Gond is the boss coming up. And you need to shoot between the gaps in his shield. And I did it quickly enough. The longer you take, I think the greater bonus you can get. Then you start everything over with increased speed and tougher enemies. Yeah, I remember this game. It's not bad. It was kind of cool. It's an early example of the directions changing from stage to stage. Whoops. Horizontally scrolling, vertically scrolling, diagonally scrolling. It's kind of cool. Again, that's Voltan's theme from Flash Gordon and Star Trek the Motion Picture music, which was later reused in Star Trek The Next Generation. And I had not seen Star Trek The Motion Picture, so all I could think of was Star Trek The Next Generation. I was like, well, that didn't come out until way later after this game. I've heard that the Star Trek The Motion Picture movie was actually pretty boring. I don't know. I'm not as big a Star Trek fan as a lot of people. You can put in a lot of initials for your name. I think you could put up to 8 initials. So I'll put in my full first name. But that's Vanguard by a company called TOSE or TOSE. and SNK and licensed to Centuri in the US. And yeah, if you let your meter go all the way to the right, the game will make you crash. Boom. And yeah, here's me getting that bonus. See, 1090. But you can only do it 3 times, and then after that you will crash. But you can only do it with the shrimp, guys. And yeah, if you take a while, then enemies will shoot at you from the side, and then you'll be walled off. And you note that the Gond will laugh at you, kind of creepy. But live or die, you start all over. But that was Vanguard, game number 19 in our 20 from 1981 series, created by TOSE and SNK and licensed to Centuri in the US. This is Crazy Climber 80, so thanks for watching Vanguard, game number 19 in our 20 from 1981 series, and I hope to see you soon for game number 18. Y'all stay cool and continue to have a great summer and stay safe. See you later, folks. Bye-bye.